These are
our top 5 neighborhoods in Venice, Florida. These are going to be our 5 favorite neighborhoods based on giving you a variety of options depending on what you're into.
Before we jump into it, if you're thinking about moving to the Venice area, make sure to call, text, or email me. My information will be in the description box below.
People are getting hold of us daily and we love talking to you guys.
The first one is South Venice, and the reason why we love this neighborhood is because you don't have an HOA community, which some people like, some people don't like. So it depends on your preferences, but you're still in Venice and you're still very close to the beach.
Yeah, I like South Venice a lot. I know some people it's not their cup of tea, so like we said, you know, all these neighborhoods is going to be depend on what you're into. And with it not being in an HOA, things are a little bit more loose as far as it's got a little bit more of a country feel to it, but you're still in the city and you don't have to worry about, you know, all the restrictions of an HOA.
Since there are no restrictions, then you're basically free to do whatever you want, so you can't, you know, complain if your neighbor, if you don't like the way their house looks or the way they're maintaining the home.
And one thing to note with South Venice as far as the character of it, I would say it feels a little bit more woodsy in spots and some just feels a little bit more country, maybe a little bit bigger front yard. So, you know, something to keep in mind. And pretty much all of it's not going to have sidewalks, so it's not going to have quite that suburban feel that maybe you're looking for.
Right, so yeah, South Venice does have a little bit bigger backyards. In a planned community, you're more a little on top of each other per se, but South Venice, you just get a little more space and the houses are a little bit more spread out, but that doesn't mean that you get, you know, a huge lot. Neighborhood number 2 is...
And don't get mad at us, because technically, according to some people, it's not Venice, but Wellen Park, very close to the south end of Venice. Technically, in some ways it's Northport, technically in some ways it's Venice, but it's a very up-and-coming new area. Great for retirees, but also very good for families. So, you know, if you're looking for something that's more family-friendly, got a lot of activities within the communities and things like that, and a lot of kids in the area, probably something you'll want to look into.
Yes, and they are building a new downtown in that area, so it'll definitely be its own little thing. But
that's going to be awesome when it's done.
Yes, it's divided into different planned communities, and they're still building out, so there is still potential there to find something. Very much of a suburban feel. There are a lot of activities. They have basketball courts, tennis, a pool area.
A lot of them have fitness centers.
It's kind of like a resort style amenities is what they call them.
Yeah, and with it, I mean, you're going to get your sidewalks and all the other stuff, but with that, you're going to get an HOA, which means there's going to be HOA fees. You're going to have certain restrictions. You know, some of them, actually, I think a lot of them, your maintenance on the exterior, as far as like lawn and things like that, are going to be covered. Probably not the exterior of your house unless you're in a villa, which some of those communities do have villas. Just very, very different from South Venice as far as that goes because of it having HOAs.
And the HOA in Wellen Park, it's higher, and that's because of all the amenities that you get included in those fees.
Number 3 is
Chestnut Creek, and for some reason, I don't know why, I just love this neighborhood. I think this is one of my top neighborhoods in Venice, and that is because the area, it's very nice. It's very much like Wellen Park where you have different communities, but it's not gated.
And I think the whole setup is cool.
Yes.
Because it's got like that little like roundabout and then all these roads that branch off that have these different communities within the community.
And the HOA fees are actually pretty low unless you're in a villa, then they're going to be a little bit higher. But you do get the tennis courts. I believe they do have basketball courts. They have a community pool. When it branches out, there is a lake in the middle, so that's pretty cool, and it's very woodsy. You're in the city, but it feels like you're out in the country almost.
Yeah, it's a different feel for sure.
Yes.
Other cool thing about it is those little communities that branch off, you have a lot of options. So you've got villas in there, you've got regular houses. All of it pretty much has a very suburban feel to it. You got your sidewalks. And the other thing I like about it is with it having a lower HOA, also I feel like a lot of the stiflingness, if that's a word, of what an HOA can bring isn't there.
Yes.
It feels a little bit more loose. People keep their things looking pretty good overall, but it's not like super pristine to the point where you feel like your lawn is more important than your regular day-to-day life.
And also the houses don't all look the same. So like they might look the same in a certain area of Chestnut Creek, but then you drive to the other side and they're going to be different color schemes, different styles. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just cool that you got different options all right in that area. With Chestnut Creek, the neighborhoods that have villas, they do take care of your lawn, but then like the housed areas, the more suburban type places where you own the actual home, those you take care of your own lawn.
Neighborhood number 4 is
Venice Gardens. I love this neighborhood. It's, to me, feels like somewhat in between South Venice and Chestnut Creek as far as the vibe.
Yes.
A little bit less sidewalks. You take care of your own lawn. You know, the HOA fee is low. Overall, it's got a little bit more of a relaxed feel on that side of things, and it doesn't feel super gated and, you know, everything's got to be such and such way.
To me, Venice Gardens it's almost like that true Florida living. Like, you do have the palm trees. It's not as woodsy. What you see more in the landscape there, it's more palm trees and flowers, and you do have to take care of your own lawn, but the houses there seem like they are upkept.
Yeah, and one other thing I like about that area, compared to just about any other neighborhood I can think of, I feel like I see a lot more golf carts driving around there. So if that's something you're into, or you just kind of want that relaxed vibe and you don't take the car, you get the breeze, something you're probably gonna like.
Yes.
Neighborhood number 5
is Venice Island. The island, it's technically not a neighborhood,
but it feels
very much like
yeah,
one.
and all the things you're gonna like about the island, anywhere I feel like on the island, you're gonna like.
Yes, and it is truly like you're on an island. It is a man-made island, but the feel of it, it's like you're on an island. You do have to cross a bridge to get onto the island from either side you're coming onto it, but it is a little bit more expensive to live on the island because you are closer to the Gulf, and there are more HOA restrictions and things like that.
And we are actually on the island right now, and we love coming out here to film and stuff. So even if you don't live on the island, people just like to come here. And the island's also going to have the downtown. There's a strip mall with Publix and some other stuff right there. And then just off of each of the bridges, there's going to be a lot more shopping. So it situates you in a very good area. And then also just like the island itself, on top of having the downtown and being so close to a lot of like the main Venice Beach and things like that, you've got a lot of parks, these little pockets of parks like the one we're in right now. They're just all over the island. So very relaxed feel, and also a lot of options for housing. There's a lot more condos here. There's villas, there's houses, townhomes.
There is mobile homes as well. But again, it is a little bit more expensive. You do have more rules and regulations to follow, but it puts you very close to the ocean. And I mean, anywhere you live in Venice, it's not going to be too far from the island. So even if you're in South Venice or Venice Gardens, you're 10-15 minutes away from the island. So even though you're not on the island, you can still enjoy all those things.
One other thing to note with the island is I'd say the houses have a similar style, despite, you know, having condos and townhomes and all that. A lot of them had that very Spanish style for the most part, I'd say, or just kind of a beach home looking house. And then one other thing to note that we didn't mention with the other neighborhoods, really just about any neighborhood you're in Venice, you're probably looking at a 15-minute drive max to get to a beach. So really anywhere you are, you're going to be a pretty close distance. Just being on the island puts you in walking distance from most areas of the island.
If you want to learn more about these neighborhoods or any other neighborhoods in the Venice area, call, text, or email me. My information will be in the description box below.
People are getting a hold of her daily. We love hearing from you guys, and you know, that's the best way for you to really find out what the best neighborhood is for you, because maybe it's not one of these top 5s. Everyone's different, or maybe you're not sure which one's right for you. She's the expert on it. She can definitely help you out.
If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and turn all notifications on.
Hit that like button, leave a comment, let us know what your thoughts are, and live breezy.